Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is going to be called Saving Goldie. Because this is Goldie, let me just introduce this one to you. Do you remember some time ago, a couple months ago, I introduced Harry to you, which was a tiny little rabbit, and now we have another one. Okay, so this video is all about saving Goldie, and I just want to tell you a story. So this is going to be a story time, and it sort of also has like a meaning, like everything always has a meaning, right? So anyway, and that's what I'm going to share with you at the end. All right, I might have to take the bunny upstairs, you know, into the cage at some point, because this is maybe not, like, it could be that it's too much. But anyway, just wanted to show you that we have a new addition to the family. Police going by. Anyway, so not because we stole the rabbit. All right, so anyway, we have a new addition to the family, and I just wanted to really share that with you because, you know, you're my friends here and friends do share stuff, right? So anyway, let me just, as long as he is somewhat quiet, wow, he's shedding a lot of hair, tell you a little bit about how this happened. Because, you know, like, when did we buy Harry? That was, I think, at the end of January or beginning of February. So by now, and at some point I'm going to bring him back here. It was just never like convenient or something, so, or he was sleeping. So anyway, Harry is by now almost grown and is doing really well and is a really happy and just the perfect pet, you know, really nice. So anyway, before we got Harry, my husband said we're not going to have anything in the house that sheds fur or that smells, you know. So that we got Harry was a miracle. I don't know where it came from. Suddenly it was there, and like all of my kids and we just grabbed onto it, and like, so he couldn't back out, you know. So anyway, we then very soon after we had gotten Harry, when he was still very small, by the way, Harry is a girl, but I still say Harry because we called him Harry and we are sort of used to saying he, so I don't know, but it's a girl anyway. So after we had gotten Harry, we immediately sort of started saying they shouldn't be alone, you know, like rabbits should be together, you know, they need someone to snuggle like people, you know. So my husband said, over my dead body, I gave you that one, live with it. Yeah. Yeah, so now we have another one. Anyway, yeah, this just shows you how life is. So weeks went by, and now Goldie, when I'm filming this, is with us maybe 6 days or something like this, and those days have been quite the roller coaster, honestly. So it was voting day, you know, no, election day in Israel, which was at the beginning of March. So when you see this, so you know where this all fits in, okay, like time frame wise. So it was the beginning of March, it was election day, and in Israel on election day, schools are closed. So it's like a vacation day, you know. So we went to vote, and then we took the kids to our local shopping mall, and there is a new pet store that opened some time ago. So the kids haven't been there yet, and of course it's, you know, it's cute and whatever. So we took them there to look at the everything. And if you don't know, if maybe, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, we used to have a lot of fish. We had like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 fish tanks, big ones, with like Amazonian predator fish and like real big stuff. And we got rid of all of that because it was just so work intensive. It was super beautiful, but I just couldn't do the work, you know, and there was nobody else. So yeah, so we sort of got rid of all of that. But I always wanted to have an animal that has fur, because this is how I grew up, you know. When I was still in Germany, I had a dog, I had 4 horses, I was very much into horseback riding, and then to suddenly live in the middle of a city and not have anything that you can pet, that was really hard for me, you know. As like, I'm in my heart of hearts, I'm a country girl so bad, you know, like really bad. If I'm a country girl with a crown. So anyway, so we went to take the kids to the pet store, and my husband, he said he has to go to a bookstore first, and then he's going to go and meet us there in the pet store. So anyway, I went with the kids to the pet store. Have said that now a million times. Is anyone still watching? And we sort of started to inquire about the rabbits because immediately I fell in love with this brown rabbit here. And I have a thing for brown animals. I don't know what it is. I already previously in my, like when I was a teenager, I had like 30 rabbits. It was not my intention, but I bought two females and a male, but I was told it's all females. So yeah, then of course the two females started to having babies, and then like my collection grew faster than my makeup collection, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I had back then one brown rabbit who was a little bit darker than this one, and it was my absolute favorite, and I loved that one to bits. And I don't know, and I also love brown horses, I love brown dogs, I love brown, I don't know, it's like in makeup I don't like browns too much, but in animals I kind of do, you know. I kind of like everything when it comes to animals. So yeah, so this was the most beautiful of all of them, or the most special of all of them, color scheme wise, you know. I was really interested in this one. So I asked the sales guy to like take him out and see what the gender is and whatever. So he said it's a male, and I said, okay, so we have a female at home because Harry is a female, so that's not gonna work. So we checked all the other ones, and every single one of them that we turned around and looked at the gender had diarrhea. So that was of course not a good sign, but you know, my heart was bleeding for this one. So I said, let's take a wet wipe and let's just clean off the area and let's just check again, you know. So after that, we both, the sales guy and I, were convinced that Goldie is a girl. So then I said, okay, if Goldie is a girl, what does she cost? And I already felt that she was skinny, and I sort of felt like she probably was the bottom end of the pack there in that cage where they have all the rabbits that are for sale. And she probably didn't get a lot of nourishment there or whatever. And I figured, you know, 2 or 3 days with us and she's gonna be fine. So he said it's at a net price, fine. And then my husband came by and he saw me holding this bundle here, and he rolled his eyes and he was like, he just shrugged his shoulders and he sort of like just stood there in the corner giving up on life because he knew that I was already making arrangements to buy the rabbit. So yeah, and I asked the sales guy all kinds of questions. So in my mind, I was basically trying to figure out how to do all of this, you know, just in case they don't get along, just in case Harry is a boy after all and this is a girl, then what if we have babies, you know? What are we gonna do then? And all of these things. So I was talking with the sales guy about all of that, finding a solution for everything. Then I just shot my husband like a look, like, what are you saying? And he was like, if this goes wrong, it's on you. That's what he said to me. So anyway, so I said, yay, okay, nothing is gonna go wrong, ever. You know, I'm good with animals. I love animals. So good. So we took Goldie home. I washed her, you know, bottom and like got her cleaned up, and got a cage ready for her because we had still a cage in the basement. And anyway, so she started eating. Harry and Goldie did not get along, but you know, what can we do? So I didn't want to put Goldie through the stress of going through this bonding thing with another rabbit who is already established in his territory because of her being so tiny and fragile and malnourished, you know. So I said, okay, so for now we're just going to put her in a separate cage. We're going to put the cages next to each other so they can sniff each other and sort of get used to each other's presence. And then, you know, once she has recovered a little bit, we'll try. So the first day was okay. The second day she stopped eating and she stopped pooping and she stopped everything. So I panicked a little bit because of her being so skinny already. And then that was the Wednesday. We bought her on Tuesday. So on Wednesday she stopped doing all these things. Then on Thursday also she did not touch food. She was totally like just basically sleeping the whole time, and like really, really scary also for the children, of course. And I got really, really concerned about her, you know. So on that day, on the Thursday, I went to that pet store where we had bought her to tell the sales guy what the issue is. And also to ask what can we do in order to make them bond, you know, because I wasn't thinking that that she was dying or something, you know. I thought she's gonna recover, maybe she just went through some kind of shock or whatever, you know, she's gonna be fine. So anyway, and while I was there, the sales guy said, you know what, I have a vet coming soon to the store who's checking the store, because apparently they have to do that like once a month. Those stores have to be checked by a veterinarian, and why don't you ask him all of those questions? And I was like, oh, I didn't want that. I didn't want to waste the time. Leorah is always under time pressure, you know what I mean? So he said in 5 minutes. Of course, he did not come in 5 minutes. He came in like 15 minutes, you know. I was about to leave a million times. I said, I'm going to leave my number here. Just call me back. Please ask the vet all my questions and then call me back with the answers. I gotta go. And he sort of stalled and he said, you know what, just wait, it's okay. You don't want to have a coffee? I said, yeah, I don't want coffee. I just want to go. Anyway, I stayed. And yeah, so then the vet came and I did talk to him quite some time about Goldie and about Harry and about Goldie's physical state and whatever, you know. But I was still not too concerned. I was just hoping that at some point she would start to eat again. Now, Friday morning came and she still hadn't eaten and she was not drinking, like barely drinking. And I was like, she's going to die today if I don't do anything. Now, the vet the day before that I didn't really want to meet, he at that point gave me his phone number. So I had his phone number. So that was amazing. So I went on WhatsApp and I WhatsApped him and I said, listen, this and this is the situation. It's not getting better. It's getting worse and I need your help now before Shabbat. Now, if you don't know, if you're not aware of this, on Shabbat, which is in Judaism, the weekly holiday sort of, which is from a Friday afternoon or evening till Saturday night. Okay, so that everything comes to a standstill. There are emergency services, but I don't know if for animals really. I don't know, because I've never had an animal here in the country that I had to take to a vet. So I called him on, I contacted him on Friday morning, told him what was going on, and I said, I need a solution. So the vet said, just take the rabbit back and take a healthy one, because the store is supposed to sell you something like a healthy animal. It's their job to take care of that. Or bring the rabbit back and they have to nurse the rabbit back to health and then you can bring it home, you know. That's what you should do. So I said to him, I don't want to exchange the rabbit. I want to save the rabbit because we made a choice to have this rabbit and now he's our responsibility. Or back then we still thought it's a sheep, but we have no luck with our genders. Seriously. Like what? Anyway, so he didn't understand. He was like going back and forth. It's just going to be more heartache if you keep it there and then it dies, you know. The kids will attach itself to the rabbit and you're just going to be heartbroken, whatever. So I said to him, please hear me. I want to save the rabbit. I don't want to have an easy way out. I want to save him. All right, do we have an understanding? So then he WhatsApped me back and he said, okay, so there is one thing we might be able to do, which is a special injection that is like a special antibiotic that works for 10 days, like a slow release antibiotic or whatever it's called in English. So I said, okay, let's do that. Where do we meet and when? Okay, so we met. I met him halfway, so I didn't have to pay for like a home visit or something. I met him actually at the entrance of a shopping mall, which is crazy. I don't know. Does it happen anywhere else but in Israel that you have like a vaccination taking place next to the entrance of a shopping mall? I don't know. So anyway, we met there and he checked the rabbit and he also told me that Goldie is not a girl, he's a boy. And of course now we have to think about what we're gonna do, you know, because now we have a boy and a girl. This is not good. All right, so anyway, he is still not mature, so it is still okay and they're in different cages, but at some point when the hormones are kicking in, and I can feel it with Harry already that she is wild. You know, she smells there's a male around and she like runs around in her cage and she's like really desperate. Don't we all know that feeling? So anyway, yeah. So he checked the rabbit, and he said, yes, he is in a very, very bad condition, and I cannot promise you anything. Rabbits tend to die really, really fast. Sometimes he has clients where he goes in the morning to check a rabbit who is in a similar condition, and then in the evening they call him, the clients call him and tell him that the rabbit has passed. So he cannot promise me anything. He also cannot promise that the injection will work. And also Goldie was sort of leaking water. I don't know if it was really water, but it felt like water from nose and mouth, and it was, the diarrhea had stopped, but she was leaking, or he was leaking water from nose and mouth, and it was really disgusting, and it was scary, and it was heartbreaking, and I was constantly checking the cage because I wanted to be the first one to see if I have to remove a dead rabbit so the kids are not exposed to this, you know? Anyway, so we did the injection, paid for it, which was about double the amount that the rabbit was worth, that we had paid in the store, and I was like, wow. So anyway, I took the rabbit home, and then I went to pick up my kids from school, and I told them, this and this is the situation, we need to talk about this, you need to be, you know, you need to be aware of the fact that we might lose the rabbit, we might lose Goldie, you know, we took her to save her life, yes, but we might not be able to. We did everything that was in our power that we could do, but sometimes, you know, now it's basically his turn to do something. He has to start pooping, and he has to start eating. That's what it boils down to, you know. So anyway, the kids were very, very upset, and they started to pray for the rabbit. And which was really, really cute. And anyway, of course, we all want the rabbit to live, you know. So that was Friday morning, or Friday at noon. Okay, so the whole afternoon Goldie was resting, and we didn't touch her. We just left him alone, and still not used to that. And by the evening, in the evening, when we sat down for our Shabbat dinner, he started eating too. And that was such a blissful situation, you know, that we as a family sat down to eat, and our Shabbat table is in the same room where we have the rabbit cages. And because usually we eat in the kitchen as a family, but on Shabbat we eat in our living room, and there we have a huge table. And anyway, doesn't matter. So basically the rabbit saw us sitting down eating, and he started eating, you know, and that was so amazing. And actually, after the kids had gone to bed, I was still sitting next to the cage and talking to him and sort of encouraging him to keep eating and to keep fighting for his life, because I can't do it for him. He has to do this now, you know. So anyway, you would not believe how skinny this rabbit is, because the fur is extremely fluffy, but you can feel every single bone. I can, like, even right now when I stroke him, I can feel every single segment of the spine, you know, and the hip bones are like little triangles sticking out. It is super, super scary. Now, overnight, from the night from Friday to Saturday, Goldie started pooping. So glad. That was such an achievement. I was so proud of my rabbit. When I saw that on Saturday morning, I was so thrilled. And also all through Saturday, he kept eating, you know, not all the time, and not maybe as much as a normal rabbit, a healthy rabbit would, but we saw a total improvement, also that the rabbit was more alert and all of these things. So now it's Sunday. Now it's basically day 1, 2, 3 after the injection, and the vet told me that we sort of have to give it about like 3 days, 3-4 days to see how the development is. Before then we can't really say if he's going to make it. So we're still hoping, we're hoping and praying that he's going to make it. And by the time you see this video, I hope maybe I can like pin a comment in the comment section and tell you if Goldie made it. Okay, so anyway, because you're probably going to see this a week plus later, or maybe 2 weeks later. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to try to remember to pin a comment, and if not, then please ask me in the comments, okay, if you're interested. So what is my lesson in all of this? You know, I was extremely, oh sweetie, oh, you look at the little bunny. Oh, it's a little pretty bunny. Anyway, I was, if you remember that I told you, I was extremely annoyed that I had to wait for the vet to come to the store, because I don't have time to wait, you know. Every minute in my day, especially during the hours when my kids are not at home, I I have to make use out of every minute because I'm filming, I'm editing, I have to go to photo shoots, I have to all kinds of stuff to do. I have a lot of household stuff to do also because I'm also a mom, you know. And anyway, so every minute counts for me, and I was super annoyed that I had to wait around, and that this sales guy basically sort of did not want to help me out and just, you know, take my number and call me back. So I don't know what his motivation was, but under at the end of the day, everything worked out to my benefit because only through that I got the number of the vet. I got to talk to him. I already basically like had a face-to-face encounter. He knew me. When I contacted him, he immediately knew this is Leorah. She bought that rabbit, whatever. I didn't have to go into long explanations because writing in Hebrew is a bit challenging for me still, you know. So that was so super helpful. And now looking back, I see that God has been watching out for me. And sometimes this is, you know, this is just the thing that in the situation, and now you can project that to like a bigger level. It doesn't need to be a rabbit or some silly stuff, you know, but it can be because God is in everything. So I was just thinking, when we look back, I hope that in every big thing we're going to see that God has been looking out for us, you know. I need to throw something else in here because this is also what is happening right now. If you're not new here, then you know that my son's bar mitzvah is coming up, and that is probably, I don't know when you see this again, this is going to be at the end of March. So my family and some friends from Germany wanted to come, of course, and now all of their flights have been cancelled due to coronavirus. Now the most important thing that the most important person that I wanted to have here with me to celebrate this event is my mom. Because I tell you why. My dad has passed already a couple of years ago, and one of the last things he said to me before he passed was he wishes he could be here for my oldest son's bar mitzvah. So for my mom, it was like coming full circle to fulfill my father's dream, to fulfill my father's last wish, basically, you know. And also for her own sake, of course. She wanted to be here for her oldest Jewish grandson to do this, you know, to have this huge step in his life and like into maturity and things like this. So for me, a whole world broke down when I heard that they won't be coming, and my sister and her husband and my brother and her wife, and you know, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And as of right now, when I'm filming this, we don't even know if we can have a party in the hotel that we have booked, because we don't know if anyone is going to show up, because we don't know if social gatherings are going to be allowed in 2 weeks, you know. So I don't know what is happening, and I don't know, like, we have paid so much money into this already, into the preparations for all of this, and I just feel heartbroken, not only because of the financial loss, also because of everything. We're being robbed of so much. Now, I'm really trying to see the good in it. Just as I couldn't see in the pet store what is the benefit of me waiting now for the vet, you know. I cannot see right now what the benefit in all of this is. I don't know why my mom should not have this pleasure of seeing her grandson being bar mitzvah and you know, all of this. I don't understand. But what I want to end this video with is that I hope and I pray that at some point I will, and at some point I will like come full term with this and be okay with this, because right now I'm really struggling. I'm really upset at this, and but I hope, if just God watches out for the little creatures, you know, that he watches out for us too, and that there is a sense in all of this. And that's just what I want to end this video with, you know, that if you're struggling with something and you're in a situation where you don't know what does it all mean right now, why is this happening? And I have a lot of other things, honestly, in my life that are happening right now where I have super big question marks, where I really don't know what's going on, where I have no solution, where I don't know why we're going through this, what have we done wrong, you know, where did we take the wrong turn, basically. And I just hope and pray that at some point I will see it clearly, and I will know, and I will feel that God has been watching out for me and that it's all good, you know? So yeah, I hope this was good for you, sweeties. Was that? Okay, so it is about coronavirus, and it is about saving Goldie, who happens to be a boy now. And we're so glad that we have him, and I just hope that he's gonna pull through. So anyway, I hope you did enjoy this little lifestyle story time video, and if you did, then please give the video a like, and of course if you're new here, then please subscribe to my channel. I'm doing lifestyle, I'm doing wrapping tutorials, I'm doing lots of makeup content, because that is my biggest passion of all times, just in case you are new here and you don't know. So that is that, and I'll see you here next time for my next video, and up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Don't lose hope. We just have to hold on to hope, because without hope there is nothing, you know? What can we do? All right, so go ahead and sparkle. See you next time. Hugs and kisses. Bye.